I remember one particular state contest at Al Moana that the boys did really well. All of them did really well. And I remember specifically when they called Andy up for his award because he had won the 12-year-old division, boys 12 and under division. The host of the event called Andy Irons up to accept his award and announce him as being the future world champion.
Andy Irons has made a successful career out of surfing by being a risk taker, positioning himself in the most dangerous parts of the wave, staying on top of his board, and staying stylish. Andy is a great instructor because he remembers paddling over the edge as a child and how scary and exciting it was. He can show anyone a safe and fun way to surf.
Oh, Bobby! This is the spot, huh? This is it, brother. Oh, yeah. Oh, gosh. Yeah, great times down here.
So, 3 World Championships, kind of back. This is where you learn how to surf.
Whenever I come home, it's weird. I'll come down here and get a lot of memories. You know, memories of being a Grom, just hanging down here all day long, hanging out with my friends, just surfing. You know, from raining closeout days to really fun, you know, rip cool, awesome pine trees. So coming down here, definitely a lot of memories. It was cool. My dad tried to get me to learn when I was really young. I remember it kind of scared me. I was like 4. He tried to get me out there, and I didn't really like it. It was kind of scary. The ocean was a big place when you're a little kid. So it took me till like when I was 7 or 8. Like 4 years later, my cousins and all my friends started getting into it, and they just kind of take me with them, and me and my brother would tag along, and I think that's when I really kind of got the bug for surfing.
Yeah, once you get hooked, right, it's on.
For sure, once I started, I mean, it was like the only thing I wanted to do.
All right, well, now it's time. World champ, Andy Irons, 3 times. So who better to learn from? Let's start it out, right not?
Go for it. All right, Tamba, how you been, brother? Good to see you.
Yeah, right on,
my
brother.
brother, my good friend Chris.
How's it going, Tamba?
Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Hey, we're doing this learn to surf thing. I mean, wonder if you got any like soft longboards or something we can use.
Yeah, I got a couple boards out there. You can check them out. An epoxy board and a soft top might be perfect for you,
Cool,
bro.
cool.
Guaranteed.
Check it out.
So many boards, so little time. There's millions of different kinds of surfboards out there, so for this first lesson, let's just keep it simple. A surfboard is a symmetrical plank that has a nose, a tail, fins, deck, rails, and a bottom. A longer board will provide more drag and stability than a short board. Since we're just beginning, we want to take it slow. We're going to find a fun board, if you will, about 8 feet tall and a few inches thick. You're going to want a big, stable board to learn on.
Tom, these boards are great. What do you think, Chris?
Yeah, these look like they'll be stable enough for a beginner to get up on. So why is there a soft one and a hard one? What's the difference?
Well, the soft one, it's a little easier to ride. It's a little less hard, and when it hits you, you don't have to worry about injuries as much. But at the same time, you can get the basics and the fundamentals of surfing.
All right, there's 2 kinds of boards here. One's soft. We don't need wax for that one, right?
No.
All right. Now this is the hard top. You need some kind of traction, so I'm gonna go with wax and a traction pad. Huh. Andy Irons promo.
What do you know?
Wow, you're pretty cool, man. All right. Well, how do you put this stuff on?
You're going to put that on your tail. Make sure you use the wax on top of your board, not the bottom, because you need it for the traction. You're going to want a board bag to protect your investment, maybe a couple inches bigger than your board. This one looks great, so we'll just slide into one of these bad boys.
All right, next thing you're going to need is a leash. It's got to be as long as the board. This will stop your board from going in, hitting rocks, or nailing somebody when they're trying to just swim and mind their own business. Leashes are very important in learning how to surf.
When you're surfing, you're either going to be using trunks or a wetsuit. When you're in California or in a cold water place, usually you're using wetsuits, vests. And if you're in the tropics or like in Hawaii, you'll be using shorts, trunks. I'd rather be in trunks most of the time, but, can't be choosy.
All right, protecting yourself from the sun is the most important thing. I've seen people wear hats, rash guards, goggles, gloves, shoes, pants, everything. It's not about looking cool, it's about being safe in the sun. Andy, 3-time world champ, uses it all the time, right?
You don't want to be 12 looking like 40, so make sure you put it on. It's good stuff.
In fact, sometimes I even like to surf naked, but I wait till the sun goes down. That may be the only instance where you really don't need to protect your whole body at night.
Don't scar me with that. I don't really want to hear about too much information. So Tamba hooked us up with some great boards, so let's go out there and go surf. So before we get started, let's go over some safety, yeah, Chris?
Alright, well, surfing's unique because when you fall in water, unlike skateboarding or snowboarding where you fall on hard concrete or hard-packed snow. The biggest thing in surfing is getting hit by your board or someone else's board. That is one of the major causes of injury in the sport of surfing.
That and hitting the coral.
You've got to get out of the way of oncoming surfers because they might not know how to turn or they might just want to run you over. So watch out.
Surfboard, $600. Sunblock, $8. Plate lunch, $10. Surf lesson, $100. The look in your friend's eye right before you run him over, priceless.
Always, always protect your head. That's the most important thing. Can't say it enough. Protect your head. The ocean is always changing and you're not in control all the time out there. So if you go underwater and you come out, make sure you have your hands over your head because you never know what's going to be above you when you come out of the water.
After riding a wave, never jump head first or feet first. You never know what's underneath you.
Yeah, just try to lay down. I mean, we're not trying to scare you here, but think about it this way. Statistically speaking, cheerleading is more dangerous than surfing, so have fun.
Surfing is an art, not a science, and you can ride any way you want. No two waves are the same, and no one masters the ocean. The ocean is ultimately your instructor, but there are certain physical skills that make the basic techniques doable. Let's define surfing. Trying to control an inanimate object in an ever-changing, fluid environment. The only thing that we can control is what we make our boards do by what we do with our bodies. The board is our tool that we will use to ride waves. Surfing is really only 10% riding and 90% paddling. The more you familiarize yourself with your equipment, the more efficient you will become in the water.
Alright, bro, what's next?
Next, we're gonna check out standing and paddling. My little buddy Kaimana's gonna come over and show us how to do it. Yeah, Mana. How you, buddy?
What's up, brother?
What's up? What's up? What's up? Big man. So, you ready to do this?
Yep.
Game on. Okay, first of all, let's determine what stance you are.
Now, when you stand up on the board, which foot did you put forward? If it's your left, you're a regular foot, like Andy. If it's your right, you're a goofy foot, like me. So now that we've determined if you're goofy or regular, let's talk about posture.
Good posture.
Good, thanks.
Nice and vertical.
Let's talk about it. Everybody has a different style of surfing. Some people are stiff, other people are loose and noodly. It's all about how you distribute your weight over the surfboard. We're going to teach you the easiest, simplest way to surf. It's the most basic thing. It's just going straight. Style's not going to matter too much at the beginning, but trust me, after a while it will. Most boards have a center line. It's called a stringer. If it doesn't have one of these, just imagine a line going right down the middle from the nose to the tail. Now when you look down at your feet, your toes should be on one side of the stringer and your heels on the other. Keep your feet under your shoulders and your knees bent. Make sure your chest is forward, and for more balance, you might want to put your arms out to the side. Try to just stay centered on the board. This will be the most stable place for you. Now this is a great neutral stance for beginners.
Now we're going to work on standing up as quick as possible.
Want to stand up? Alright, grab both those rails and do a basic push-up. Now keep your weight centered. If you lean too much on either side, you're going to fall right over. Put your front foot on the center line. Now as you stand up, turn your feet so that your toes are on one side of the stringer and your heels are on the other. Assume the neutral stance you learned earlier. Toes on one side, heels on the other.
Yeah, Chris, it's also important not to lock your knees. You want to remain flexible. When you look in the magazines, you'll see guys with similar stance. This is a functional and neutral stance that will help you later. At some point, the ride will end, and you'll need to paddle again. To lay back down, simply use your hands on either side of your front foot. Move your front foot to the tail of the board and lie down so your spine becomes the center line of the board.
One of the hardest things about surfing can be catching the waves you want. Bench could be a great tool to practice your paddling, like my friend Kote.
When you're paddling for a wave, paddle like your life depends on it every time. If you don't paddle hard, you're not going to get it. It's that simple. Don't be lazy. Catch that wave.
The best type of paddling is done by keeping your arms close to your board and using deep strokes. Your hands are paddles, so make sure you keep your fingers together. Dig deep and paddle hard. Paddling is a tricep and back exercise. Once you stand up, bring your front foot up between your hands and under your chest. Let go of the rail, and now you're surfing. So once your ride looks like it's coming to an end, don't just jump off. Lay back down and get in control of your board.
And so that's it. Paddle, stand, surf, and lay back down. Now let's put it all together and go do it.